Good morning, everyone. Softball Grandpa here. It's February 1st, 2026, to my recollection. Um, got up this morning, the dogs let me sleep in, and about 4:30 or so, and now they're taking a nap. Have my coffee, and let's turn on the TV, but it was too early for the news, so I put it on Amazon or something, and I started watching the movie Pulp Fiction. I'd never seen it before. Um, it's kind of a strange movie, but I turned it off about an hour into it or something like that. And there was a scene where Uma Thurman OD'd on whatever she was snorting, and it brought back memories of days when I was drugging and drinking. You know, I probably almost died a couple of times. I had a few blackouts. I'm not sure how many blackouts, but I think more than one. That's for sure. And it just it's went back to the '70s and stuff. And I actually went on Copilot and asked Copilot, did Pulp Fiction win an Academy Award? And it did. It won one for screenplay with Quentin Tarantino. But anyway, that's just that's how my mind works. And I think it's kind of bothersome when the OD part, because escaping death. But going back to the '70s and stuff, I'm gonna move the camera closer. Um, my daughter told me that I need to talk a little bit louder. Um, but one of the things about this is history. My history, going back in time, in the '60s and the '70s. It was Americana. There wasn't the war in Vietnam was a very big thing. There was a lot of fear from the young people of going to Vietnam, protesting, going to Vietnam. The soldiers coming back, and not being greeted as heroes, but as the bad guys. Even though they served their country, they came back as bad guys. A lot of people, young people, hated them for going to Vietnam, which I don't understand. But I didn't serve in the military, and I'm pretty lucky I didn't, because I think the addiction probably would have been a lot worse. Speaking of addiction and Americana, young people, Google Red Skelton and the Pledge of Allegiance, or go on YouTube and look at Red Skelton and the Pledge of Allegiance. When I was in school, we used to say the Pledge of Allegiance and the Star Spangled Banner every morning. All the kids would line up in the schoolyard. They'd raise the flag up. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And and then they would sing the Star Spangled Banner. The music would come over the PA, and but that's what we used to do. To this day, when I go to a sporting event, a baseball game, and when they sing the Star Spangled Banner, if there's a guy that doesn't take off their hat, I want to go up there and take a picture of him, put him on YouTube, and say, you rat bastard, come on, respect the flag, because people died for our freedom, and that's what we never forget, like 9/11, never forget, but I think people are forgetting, and that's sad, and for all the young folk too, maybe time to get your ass to church, you might ask the church, Uh, I should take my own advice, huh? Look myself in the eye and say, hey, what the hell? Or what the heck? I shouldn't say hell. What the heaven? Maybe we should change that. What the heaven? Wouldn't that's a good idea? Uh, sometimes we do have good. What the heaven? That's a good phrase. Maybe I should make a T-shirt. And it's like Forrest Gump. The happy face. Or what it was. That logo made a lot of money. Maybe I should. Well, yeah. What the heaven? You know. And that's good. So, but with that, God bless. Do something for somebody else for free because you want to. And what the heaven? All right, bye.